I always figured life would shaft me eventually, but I never expected it to happen with my own wrench set. The name's Nick Grainger, and at 42, I've learned that the universe has a twisted sense of humor. Take last Tuesday, for instance. I'm under the hood of a '98 Camaro, elbow deep in engine grease, when my phone buzzes with a text from my wife, Lana. Working late again tonight. Client dinner. Don't wait up. Third time this week. The Camaro's owner, Mrs. Henderson, peers over my shoulder. Marriage troubles, honey? Just the usual, I grunt, tightening a bolt that doesn't need tightening. Wife's climbing the corporate ladder. I'm still here fixing cars. Truth is, Lana's been distant for months. She works at Morrison & Associates, some fancy marketing firm downtown. Started there 2 years ago as a junior account manager. Now she's got her own office, designer clothes, and a vocabulary full of words like synergy and paradigm shift. Me? I still say busted when something's broken. The garage smells like motor oil and disappointment. I've owned Grainger Auto Repair for 15 years, inherited it from my old man. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. Or used to, anyway. Lana's been pushing me to expand my horizons, which is her polite way of saying I embarrass her at company parties. My phone buzzes again. This time it's my daughter Casey, away at State University studying journalism. Dad, you okay? Mom's been posting weird stuff on social media. I wipe my hands on a rag, leaving black streaks. Define weird. Like motivational quotes about finding yourself and breaking free from limitations. Also, she's been tagging some guy named Eric in everything. Eric. I know that name. Eric McCall, Lana's coworker. Drives a red BMW, wears suits that cost more than my monthly rent, and has the kind of smile that makes you want to check your wallet afterward. I've met him at a few company events. He's got that slick, practiced charm that works on everyone except mechanics who've seen too many con artists. Probably just work stuff, I tell Casey, but something cold settles in my stomach. Dad, when's the last time you and Mom went out together? Before we deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Good question. I think back through weeks of her client dinners and team-building exercises. When did we stop being us? We're fine, kiddo. Focus on your studies. But I'm not fine. That evening, I sit in our living room. Correction, my living room, since Lana's never home, nursing a beer and staring at the wedding photo on the mantel. 20 years ago, we looked happy. She was a secretary at a law firm. I was a mechanic with dreams of expanding the business. We had plans, simple ones maybe, but they were ours. The front door opens at 11:30. Lana walks in, checking her phone, not even looking at me. How was dinner? I ask. Fine. She kicks off her heels, expensive ones I don't remember buying. I'm exhausted. She's wearing a dress I've never seen, and her hair looks professionally styled. For a client dinner. Right. Who'd you meet with? The Hartley Group. Big account. She's already heading upstairs. I'm taking a shower. I hear the water running and make a decision that'll change everything. Her purse sits on the kitchen counter, designer leather that probably costs more than most people's car payments. I've never been the snooping type, but something in my gut tells me to look. Inside, beneath the usual collection of lipstick and receipts, I find a phone I've never seen before. Not her regular iPhone, but a cheap burner phone with a cracked screen. My hands shake as I power it on. The messages make my world tilt sideways. Eric. Can't wait for tomorrow's client meeting. Bring the red tie. Lana. Only if you promise to take it off slowly. Eric. Your husband suspect anything? Lana. Nick, please. He's too busy with his little garage to notice if I brought home a circus. There are dozens of messages going back months. Detailed plans for meetups, jokes about my grease-stained fingers, and worst of all, a video file that makes my stomach turn. It's Lana and Eric in what looks like his apartment, laughing as they mock reenact conversations with me. "Oh, Nick," Lana says in an exaggerated voice. "Can you fix my car? I'm just a helpless mechanic who doesn't understand the real world." Eric doubles over laughing. "Does he still think you're working late?" The man couldn't find a clue if it came with an instruction manual. I close the phone and sit in the dark kitchen, listening to my wife shower off another man's touch. 20 years of marriage, and I'm the punchline to their private joke. The shower stops. I slip the phone back into her purse and head to the garage, where I keep a cot for those long nights working on difficult repairs. Lana doesn't even notice I'm not in bed. I lie awake until dawn, staring at the ceiling and planning. Because here's the thing about being a mechanic. You learn that every problem has a solution. Sometimes you just need the right tools. The next morning, I'm elbow deep in a transmission rebuild when my phone rings. It's my buddy Mike Thompson, who owns the bar 3 blocks down from my shop. Mike's built like a refrigerator with anger management issues, but he's been my friend since high school. "Nick, you need to see something," he says. "Get down here." I find Mike behind the bar, laptop open, scrolling through Facebook. "Sit down," he says, which is never a good sign coming from Mike. He turns the screen toward me. It's Lana's profile, and she's posted a photo from last night. She's at some upscale restaurant sitting across from Eric McCall. The caption reads, "Sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone to find what you're really looking for." New beginnings. Finding myself. The comments are what twist the knife. Her friend Janice writes, "You deserve so much better, girl. Time to spread those wings." Eric himself has commented, "Here's to new adventures with amazing people." "There's more," Mike says, clicking to another post. This one's from Eric's profile, a photo of his BMW parked outside our house. "Great evening with an incredible woman. Some people know quality when they see it." I stare at the screen until the words blur together. "How long have these been up?" "Posted around midnight." "Nick, I'm sorry, man. I thought you should know." I drive home in a fog. Lana's car is in the driveway, which surprises me. She's usually at the office by now, synergizing, or whatever it is she does. I find her in the kitchen, making coffee like nothing happened. She's wearing a silk robe that I definitely didn't buy. "We need to talk," I say. She doesn't even look up. "About what?" I pull out my phone and show her the Facebook posts. "About this." For just a second, her face goes blank. Then she recovers, switching to what I now recognize as her professional smile. "Nick, you're being paranoid." "Paranoid? You posted photos of yourself on a date with another man." "It was a business dinner. Eric's helping me with the Hartley account." "At 11 o'clock at night, looking like you're auditioning for a romance movie?" She sighs, like I'm a child who doesn't understand adult concepts. "This is exactly why we have problems, Nick. You're suspicious and controlling. You don't trust me to do my job." The gaslighting is so smooth, so practiced, that for a moment I almost believe her. Almost. Then I remember the burner phone. "Show me your phone," I say. "Excuse me?" "Your phone. If this is all innocent, show me your messages with Eric." Her professional smile cracks. "I don't have to prove anything to you. The fact that you're demanding to see my private communications shows exactly how toxic this relationship has become." She's good. I'll give her that. Somehow I'm the bad guy for catching her cheating. "Lana, I know about Eric. I know this isn't work." "You know nothing." She sets down her coffee cup with enough force to make it ring against the counter. "You sit in that garage all day, covered in grease, while I'm out there building a real career. You have no idea what it takes to succeed in the professional world. I know what it takes to be faithful to your spouse." She laughs, and it's not a pleasant sound. "Faithful? Nick, we've been roommates for 2 years. When's the last time we had a real conversation? When's the last time you showed any interest in my life beyond asking what's for dinner? There's enough truth in her words to sting, but not enough to excuse what she's done. So your solution is to cheat? I'm not cheating. I'm living. For the first time in 20 years, I'm remembering what it feels like to be appreciated by someone who understands ambition. And I don't? You own a garage, Nick. You fix cars. That's fine, but don't pretend it's the same as building something meaningful. The contempt in her voice hits harder than any physical blow. This isn't just about Eric. This is about everything she thinks I am, everything she thinks I'm not. I want you to move out, she continues. I've already talked to a lawyer. We need space to figure out what we really want. What you really want, you mean? What's best for both of us? She's back to her professional tone, like she's firing an employee. I'll stay at Eric's while we sort things out. You've already planned this. I've been thinking about it for months. This conversation just confirms that I'm making the right choice. She walks upstairs, leaving me standing in the kitchen of the house I've been paying for, while she plans her new life with another man. An hour later, I watch from the garage as Eric's BMW pulls into my driveway. He doesn't even have the decency to look embarrassed, just sits in his car, engine running, while Lana loads suitcases into the trunk. She doesn't say goodbye, doesn't even look toward the garage, just climbs into the passenger seat and drives away with my replacement. Mrs. Kaplan from next door appears at her fence. Everything all right, Nick? Just peachy, I say, watching the BMW disappear around the corner. My phone buzzes. It's Casey. Dad, Mom just posted that she's starting a new chapter. What's going on? I look at the empty driveway, the house that suddenly feels too big and too quiet. Your mother's found herself, I tell my daughter. Turns out she was hiding behind a marketing executive with a red BMW. 3 days later, I'm discovering what starting fresh really means. Lana's cleaned out our joint checking account, leaving me with $17 and a stack of bills I can't pay. The mortgage payment's due in 2 weeks, and I've got about as much chance of making it as I do of becoming an astronaut. I'm sharing this delightful news with Mike over a beer at his bar when my phone rings. It's Casey. Dad, have you seen Mom's Instagram? I don't do Instagram, kiddo. She posted photos from some fancy restaurant. She's wearing jewelry I've never seen, and Eric's tagged in everything. The captions are all about embracing new possibilities and leaving limitations behind. Mike leans over. Put it on speaker. There's more, Casey continues. Her friend Janice commented something about how Mom finally escaped that anchor around her neck. I think she means you, Dad. Mike's face darkens. That witch. Language, I warn him, but my heart's not in it. Janice has always been Lana's partner in petty cruelty. Short, sharp-tongued, and bitter about her own failing marriage, she's spent years making snide comments about my profession. Dad, I'm coming home, Casey says. No, you've got school. School can wait. You need family right now. The loyalty in her voice almost breaks me. At 19, Casey's got more integrity than her mother ever did. I'm fine, sweetheart. Your old man's tougher than he looks. After I hang up, Mike pours another beer. So, what's the plan? Plan? Come on, Nick. I've known you since we were teenagers. You've got that look. What look? The same one you had when Tommy Morrison kept stealing your lunch money in 8th grade. I remember Tommy Morrison. Big kid. Thought he was untouchable until I figured out he was allergic to shellfish and started leaving shrimp in his locker. Amazing how quickly bullies back down when their eyes start swelling shut. Lana thinks I'm just a dumb mechanic, I tell Mike. Maybe it's time to show her how creative dumb mechanics can be. Mike grins. Now you're talking. What do you need? Over the next week, I do my homework. I learn Eric's schedule through social media posts and careful observation. He works out at the downtown gym every morning at 6. gets coffee at the same pretentious place that charges $5 for what I can make at home for 50 cents. Parks his precious BMW in the same spot every day, right under his apartment window where he can see it. That car is his pride and joy. He posts photos of it constantly, washes it twice a week, and probably talks to it more than he ever talked to his ex-wife. Yeah, I did my research. Eric's been married twice, both marriages ending when his wives discovered his flexible interpretation of monogamy. Friday morning, I put my plan into action. I'm waiting in the gym parking lot at 5:30, wearing a baseball cap and old coveralls. When Eric emerges at 7, sweaty and satisfied with himself, he finds his car door handles coated with industrial-strength adhesive, the kind we use to seal engine blocks. He tugs at the driver's door, confusion turning to panic as he realizes what's happened. I've also filled his air conditioning vents with raw shrimp, not enough to damage anything, but enough to create a smell that'll linger for months. The best part? I've used a washable marker to write "homewrecker" under the hood, where only a mechanic would find it. Eric calls a tow truck, but not before 3 different people film his meltdown and post it online. By noon, BMW guy has epic parking lot breakdown is trending locally. But I'm not done. Eric's current wife, he got married 6 months ago, doesn't know about his extracurricular activities. Her name's Patricia, and she works as a nurse at the county hospital. She seems nice enough, which makes what I have to do easier. I create a fake email account and send her screenshots of Eric's social media posts with Lana, along with photos I took of them together at various restaurants. I don't add commentary. Don't need to. The evidence speaks for itself. 2 days later, Eric's Facebook status changes from married to it's complicated. By the end of the week, Patricia's thrown his clothes onto the front lawn and changed the locks. Lana tries calling me, but I let it go to voicemail. "Nick, we need to talk. Someone's been harassing Eric, and I think it might be you. This is childish and pathetic. Call me back." I delete the message without finishing it. The next phase of my plan requires more finesse. See, Lana's new job depends heavily on her professional reputation. Morrison & Associates is a small firm that can't afford scandals. Their clients pay premium prices for discretion and competence. It would be a shame if someone discovered that Lana's been using company resources for personal activities. I don't hack anything. I'm not that clever, but I am observant, and I remember things, like how Lana mentioned uploading files to the company's cloud storage, like how she always uses the same password for everything. Casey's birthday, followed by her maiden name. I don't need to break into anything. I just need to make a phone call. Morrison & Associates, this is Jennifer. Hi, this is Tom Bradley from Hartley Group. I deepen my voice, add a slight accent. We're having trouble accessing the presentation files your Ms. Grainger was supposed to send. Could someone check if they're in your shared folders? Of course, Mr. Bradley. Let me transfer you to IT. 20 minutes later, Jennifer calls back. Mr. Bradley, I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. We found some files in Ms. Grainger's folder that appear to be personal in nature. I'm going to need to speak with my supervisor. I hang up and wait. The call comes at 4:30. It's Casey. Dad, something weird happened. Mom just called crying. She said she got fired, but she won't tell me why. She keeps saying someone's sabotaging her. That's terrible, I say, not feeling terrible at all. She wants to come home. Says she needs to talk to you. Home's not available right now. Dad, what did you do? Smart kid. Gets that from me. I didn't do anything illegal, immoral, or unethical, I tell her. I just helped some people discover the truth about the person they trusted. And you're okay with this? I think about Lana's contempt, her casual cruelty, the way she dismissed 20 years of marriage like it was a minor inconvenience. Casey, your mother made choices. She chose to cheat, chose to steal our money, chose to humiliate me publicly. I'm just making sure those choices have consequences. There's a long pause. She really cleaned out your account? Down to $17. Another pause. Dad? Yeah? Give them everything you've got. Lana shows up at my house on a Tuesday morning, looking nothing like the polished professional who walked out 3 weeks ago. Her hair needs washing, her clothes are wrinkled, and there are dark circles under her eyes that makeup can't hide. She's driving a 10-year-old Honda with a cracked windshield. Eric's BMW is nowhere in sight. I'm working on a brake job when she appears in the garage doorway. For a moment, neither of us speaks. We need to talk, she finally says. About what? You know what? She steps closer, and I catch a whiff of desperation mixed with cheap perfume. The job, Eric's car, his wife finding out about us. That was you. I don't look up from the brake caliper I'm rebuilding. Sounds like you've had a rough few weeks. Don't play dumb, Nick. I know you're behind this. Behind what? Your boss finding personal videos on the company server? Eric's wife discovering his cheating? You think I made those things happen? You sabotaged his car. Did I? Can you prove that? Her professional composure cracks completely. I need money, Nick. I can't make rent, and Eric's cut me off until his divorce settles. Sounds like a personal problem? It's our house, too. Half of everything is mine. I set down my wrench and finally look at her. You mean the house you abandoned? The mortgage you left me to pay alone? The bills you stuck me with when you cleaned out our account? I was angry. I made mistakes. You made choices. There's a difference. She tries a different approach, softening her voice. Nick, we were married for 20 years. That has to count for something. It did. Right up until you decided it didn't. I never meant for things to go this far. What did you mean? To keep me as a backup plan while you played house with your boyfriend? She flinches. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. I stand up, and she takes a step back. You want to know the truth, Lana? I would have given you a divorce. If you'd just been honest, if you'd shown me a little respect, I would have split everything 50-50 and wished you well. I can still. But you didn't want honest. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. You wanted to keep the house, keep the money, and keep me around to pay for it all while you started your new life. That's not true, isn't it? You were never going to leave Eric. You were just going to keep both of us on the hook, taking what you needed from each. The truth hits her face like a slap, because she knows I'm right. So here's what's going to happen, I continue. You're going to leave. You're going to figure out your own problems, and you're going to stop blaming me for the consequences of your choices. I don't have anywhere to go. Should have thought of that before you burned down your marriage. She tries tears next, but they look calculated. Please, Nick, I'm asking for help. And I'm saying no. What about Casey? She needs her mother. Casey's 19. She can decide for herself who she wants in her life, but she's staying with me. You can't keep my daughter from me. I'm not keeping anyone from anything. I'm just not paying for your mistakes anymore. Lana leaves without another word, but I know she'll be back. Desperate people do desperate things, and Lana's got nothing left to lose. I'm right. She comes back Thursday night, but this time she's not alone. Eric's with her, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. His face is puffy, and he's got the defeated look of a man whose life has imploded. They're in the Honda again. Eric's BMW is probably in some impound lot, still reeking of seafood. We want to make a deal, Lana announces. We? I look at Eric. I thought Patricia threw you out. Eric's jaw tightens, but he doesn't respond. Eric's got a new job lined up in Phoenix, Lana continues. We want to start fresh, but we need money to relocate. And you thought I'd give it to you? It's a loan. We'll pay you back. I start laughing. I can't help it. The sheer audacity is breathtaking. Let me get this straight. You want me to fund your romantic getaway? It's not like that. It's exactly like that. I look at Eric. How's married life treating you, champ? He finally speaks. Look, man, I'm sorry about how things went down. But what's done is done. We're trying to move forward. Move forward? You mean run away? Call it whatever you want. We just need a fresh start. Then get jobs, save money, do what normal people do. We don't have time for that, Lana snaps. The Phoenix job won't wait. Then I guess you'd better figure something out. Eric steps forward, trying to look intimidating. You've done enough damage, Nick. Time to be the bigger man. The bigger man? I set down my beer and stand up. Eric's taller than me, but I've got 20 pounds of muscle from years of physical work. The bigger man doesn't sleep with other people's wives. That's between me and Lana, not when you're in my driveway asking for my money. We stare at each other for a long moment. Eric's got soft hands and a gym membership. I've got calluses and a lifetime of fixing things that are actually broken. He backs down first. This isn't over, Lana says as they head back to the Honda. Yeah, it is. But I'm wrong about that. It's not over. It's just getting started. Friday afternoon, I get a call from Casey's school. Mr. Grainger, this is Dean Morrison at State University. I'm calling about your daughter. My stomach drops. Is she okay? She's fine, but there's been an incident. Someone claiming to be her mother tried to withdraw her from classes and access her student account. When we asked for proper identification, the woman became belligerent and had to be escorted off campus by security. Someone claiming to be her mother? The woman had proper ID, but your daughter had already contacted us to say that only you were authorized to make changes to her account. She said there might be attempts to use her as leverage in a family dispute. Smart kid. Definitely gets that from me. Where's Casey now? She's here in my office. Would you like to speak with her? Casey comes on the line, and she sounds shaken. Dad, Mom tried to make me leave school. She said I had to choose sides, and if I chose you, I'd regret it. Are you okay? I'm scared. She wasn't acting like herself. She seemed desperate. Pack a bag. I'm coming to get you. You don't have to. Pack a bag, Casey. You're coming home until this settles down. I drive to State University that evening, my mind racing. Lana's crossed a line, involving our daughter in whatever game she's playing. That changes everything. I find Casey waiting in the student center, a duffel bag at her feet. She looks younger than 19, vulnerable in a way that makes my chest tight. Hey, kiddo. She hugs me, and I smell her shampoo, the same brand she's used since middle school. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't think she'd actually try something like this. Not your fault. Your mother's not thinking clearly right now. On the drive home, Casey tells me about Lana's visit, how she'd shown up at the dorm, crying and desperate, how she'd begged Casey to come home, saying they could be a family again if Casey would just talk sense into me. She said you'd stolen money from her, that you'd destroyed her career and her relationship. She said you were trying to control everyone through money. What do you think? Casey's quiet for a long moment. I think Mom made choices, and now she doesn't want to face the consequences. That's a pretty mature way to look at it. I'm not a little kid anymore, Dad. I can see what's happening. We drive in comfortable silence until Casey speaks again. Dad, what are you going to do about Mom? I think about Lana's desperation, her willingness to involve our daughter, the way she's trying to rewrite history to make herself the victim. I'm going to finish what she started. The annual Riverside Community Festival happens every October in the downtown plaza. It's a big deal. Local businesses set up booths, there's live music, and the mayor gives speeches about community spirit. This year, they're also hosting a charity auction to raise money for the new children's hospital. Lana used to chair the festival committee back when she cared about community involvement, before she decided small-town life was beneath her. I know she'll be there because Eric's Phoenix job fell through. Turns out his new employer did a background check and discovered his recent troubles. Word travels fast in professional circles, especially when it involves company policy violations and messy personal drama. So they're stuck in town, penniless and desperate. Lana's been staying with Janice, which must be tormenting both of them. Two resentful women sharing a small apartment and a shrinking bank account. Mike helps me set up a booth for the garage. Nothing fancy, just some flyers and a banner advertising brake jobs and oil changes. But I've got other plans for today. Casey's with me, having decided to take a semester off to help with the business. She says she wants to learn the trade, maybe write about blue-collar life for her journalism degree. I think she just wants to make sure I don't do anything stupid. Dad, you're not going to embarrass yourself, are you? She asks as we arrange tools on the display table. Define embarrass. You know what I mean. Kiddo, your old man's got this under control. At 2 o'clock, I see them. Lana and Eric trying to blend into the crowd. Lana's wearing clothes I recognize from our closet, stuff she left behind in her hurry to start her new life. Eric looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. They're keeping their distance, but I can feel them watching me, waiting for something. They don't have to wait long. At 3 o'clock, Mayor Davidson takes the stage for the charity auction. I've made arrangements with him. Nothing complicated, just a donation to get some time at the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor announces, we have a special presentation from one of our local business owners. Please welcome Nick Grainger from Grainger Auto Repair. I walk onto the stage, and Casey gives me a thumbs up from the crowd. Mike's grinning like he knows something good is about to happen. Thanks, Mayor Davidson. I wanted to take a moment to talk about community values, about trust, loyalty, and the importance of keeping your word. I can see Lana in the crowd now, her face going pale as she realizes what's happening. See, I've learned some things lately about character, about the difference between people who build things up and people who tear them down, about the difference between folks who keep their promises and folks who don't. Eric's trying to pull Lana away, but she's frozen in place. I've also learned about consequences, how the choices we make don't just affect us, they affect everyone around us. Our families, our friends, our community. I pull out a folder I've prepared. For instance, I've got some interesting information here about professional ethics, about people who use company resources for personal gain, about married folks who make promises they don't intend to keep. This is harassment! Lana shouts from the crowd. The audience turns to look at her, and I can see recognition dawning on several faces. People remember her from her committee days, remember her high and mighty attitude about civic responsibility. Harassment? I say into the microphone. Ma'am, I'm just talking about community values, about how important it is to be honest with the people who trust us. You're talking about me. Am I? I haven't mentioned any names. But of course, now everyone's looking at her. The woman who's shouting at the man on stage, making a scene at a community festival. If the shoe fits, someone in the crowd mutters, and there's nervous laughter. Eric finally succeeds in pulling Lana toward the exit, but she breaks free and pushes toward the stage. You want to talk about honesty? She screams. Let's talk about how you sabotaged my career, how you stalked and harassed us. The crowd's getting uncomfortable now. This isn't entertainment anymore. It's a domestic dispute playing out in public. Ma'am, I say calmly, I think you might be confused. I'm just a mechanic who fixes cars and pays his bills on time. I don't have the power to sabotage anyone's career. You know what you did. I know I've been taking care of my responsibilities while other folks have been making different choices. Security, 2 off-duty cops working the festival, start moving toward Lana. She sees them coming and makes a desperate play. This man has been stalking us. He destroyed my boyfriend's car. He's dangerous. The crowd's murmuring now, not sure what to believe, but I've got one more card to play. You know what? I say into the microphone. Let's clear this up right now. Ma'am, you're talking about your boyfriend, but according to public records, you're still married. To me. The crowd goes quiet. So if you're worried about someone stalking your boyfriend, maybe you should worry about his wife. Oh wait, she already threw him out for cheating. Eric tries to disappear into the crowd, but it's too late. People are starting to put the pieces together. And if you're concerned about professional ethics, maybe don't use your employer's equipment to make personal videos. Companies tend to frown on that. Lana's face goes white. You had no right? I had every right to protect myself when my wife cleaned out our bank account and abandoned our mortgage. Now the crowd's really listening. This is small-town drama at its finest. But here's the thing, I continue. I don't want revenge. I just want people to understand that actions have consequences, that you can't treat people like garbage and expect them to smile about it. Lana makes one final desperate move. She charges the stage, screaming something about lies and harassment, but the platform's 4 feet high, and she's wearing heels she can't afford to replace. She doesn't make it. The fall isn't dangerous, just embarrassing. She lands in the soft grass in front of the stage, her dignity scattered like her purse contents. The security officers help her up, and she's crying now. Real tears, not the calculated ones she tried on me. That's enough, one of the cops says. Ma'am, you need to leave. This is harassment, she sobs. Ma'am, you charged the stage at a public event. We're not arresting anyone, but you need to go. Eric finally steps up, taking Lana's arm. Come on, let's get out of here. As they walk away, Lana turns back one more time. This isn't over, Nick. I lean into the microphone. Yeah, it is. The crowd applauds, and I step down from the stage. Casey's waiting for me, shaking her head but smiling. Dad, that was either brilliant or completely insane. Little bit of both, probably. Mike appears with a beer. That was beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. It's done, I tell them. Whatever happens next, it's done. And it is done. Lana and Eric leave town the following week. Destination unknown. The house goes into my name only. Turns out abandoning the mortgage has legal consequences. Casey decides to finish school locally, commuting from home. The garage business picks up. Turns out people like supporting someone who stands up for himself without breaking any laws or hurting anyone. 6 months later, I'm under the hood of a '92 Mustang when my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. Grainger Auto Repair. Nick, it's Lana. I almost hang up, but curiosity wins. What do you want? I wanted to apologize for everything. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What else do you want me to say? I don't know, I hoped we could talk. Maybe work things out. I look around my garage, not ours anymore. Casey's at the counter, doing homework between answering phones. Mike's working on a brake job in the next bay. It's not glamorous, but it's honest work with honest people. Lana, I hope you find what you're looking for. I really do. But you're not going to find it here. Nick, please. Take care of yourself. I hang up and get back to work. The Mustang's got a blown head gasket, but it's nothing I can't fix. Some problems just need the right tools and enough patience to do the job right. Behind me, Casey's telling a customer that we can fit them in tomorrow morning, and Mike's whistling something off-key but cheerful. It's a good life. Not perfect, but honest. And sometimes, that's enough.